So what was your experience as you were there with him as he passed on to the other side? And because a lot of people have questions about that and I know I did, like, where did he go? Like, he's not gone. Where did he go? So what was your experience
Oh,
as
it
you were
was
there?
so mystical and so special and so incredible. So the nights leading up to it, we would be surrounding his bed, and my elder sister, she would lead the prayer. So she's very religious, and she would have a prayer book and she would lead the prayer. And we would all be in prayer, in vigil around him. And there was one moment which was incredible. So my dad used to sing at the church in the choir and at the front of the church for many, many, many years, all his adult life. And in the middle of this vigil, my brother-in-law was holding a phone and he looked at it in shock and he threw it on the bed, and there popped up a photo of my dad at church singing. It just came up by itself. And so for us, the message was he's with us, he's singing with us. Because at that point, he was unconscious. So he couldn't open his eyes, he couldn't say anything, but we knew he could listen and we knew he could hear. And so it was a clear message that he's with us, he's singing with us. So we're all in this together. And on his final day, on his final night, when I knew that it was going to be his final night and we made the phone calls to the rest of the family, I rang my sister, Kathy, to tell her tonight's the night. And she said, I know. I said, well, how do you know? Because nobody else could have called her. She said, I've had a visitor. I said, who's the visitor? And she said, an owl came knocking on my window and looked at me, and I knew that it was time. So in our culture and in our tradition, the owls would tell the families that it's time for their loved ones to pass over. And so the village people, when they would see owls coming, they would actually shoo them away because it was an omen. And so the owl, the most incredible owl, she took a picture of it. There were two other people in her house, didn't look at the others, but looked straight at her to let her know that that was the night. So she was getting ready to come before I even called. And so all these mystical, incredible events, there's many things that happened during the final weeks, but this is the key, Caryn. I really think this is important. Anybody can say, oh yeah, but that's a coincidence, but she's never had an owl visit her before. We don't have owls in suburban Melbourne. We don't live in the countryside. It is about the signs are there, but you need to see them. There are many things that happened during the last few weeks of the time that he was on earth. His exact passing, for example, even though my brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws were all there, my brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws had actually fallen asleep, and the only ones around his bed at the time of his passing were his 5 children. It was incredible. The in-laws, he loved them, but the soul chooses when they pass. His children were surrounding him. And so they choose the exact moment. Whereas previously, because I was sleepless for so long, I had fallen asleep, but something got me up and got me to the bed, and I was there with my siblings. There are so many incredible moments, and all of this information that we receive from the other side is so helpful because we know that they haven't turned to dust. We know that they're transforming. We can feel it. So when we listen and when we watch for the signs, we know that our loved ones are with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wasn't aware of that either. And like you said, it's not seeing the signs, it's being open to the signs. And it's incredible, whether it's coins or feathers or, electronics or birds. A lot of times birds, we talk about cardinals. When you're open to it and you're watching for them, you realize that the signs are there. They are sending you messages all the time.
All the time. And it continued afterwards as well. It's just, yes, we absolutely miss their physical presence Like we miss them so much, but we know that they haven't disappeared into nothingness. And that is so comforting to know that they are there. They are there. We call them with me. When I call him, I can instantly feel him. I can feel the energy around me. I can feel him. So although it's not a hugging situation where I can hug him, but then again, I've also had times when I really needed to hug him and he would come in my dreams just for the purpose of me hugging him. And it would always be the night before a big event. Thanks for watching. We hope you loved it.
And if you did, please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And remember, always connect to your truest essence.
And choose love. We'll see you next time.